just barely hear them breathing in there. They must be pretty far down the passage. I hope you're comfortable in there, human. You're not getting back out this way. At least, not for a while. And you're not getting out the other side either. You see, this cave is actually the dwelling of the collector. You're very clever, human, and very resourceful, but oh so gullible and naive. You walked right into the trap we laid before you and guided your every footstep toward. And now, the collector will take care of you until we come back for you. Farewell, human. Until we meet again.
Enjoy your stay with the collector. And try not to worry about the tentacles. You'll get used to it after a while. Goodbye.
There is no way out behind you now, human. The way behind you is sealed. Do not attempt to go back that way. And do not entertain thoughts of violence towards me. It will be of no avail. You have been warned. Make no more attempts to threaten me. I warned you not to do that. And since you persisted, I have sprayed you with a substance which will render you much less aggressive and violent. Your rational mind should be able to control your more violent emotions. Do not be afraid. I am not going to harm you, human. Let me reassure you of that. I am only going to keep you safe and secure until the hunter demons return for you. For I overheard much of their conversation during the night from the entrance to my dwelling. And I know they mean to come back to collect you once they have passed around to the other side of these rocky highlands we are in. What their plans are for you after that is not my concern. But until they do return to collect you, you are in my charge. If you are in need of refreshment, do not hesitate to speak up. I am certain I can find something suitable for humans. Oh yes, even this far into the chaos, there are things which grow and live here which are suitable for human consumption. Some of them quite delicious, as I understand. But I also have within my underground domain a broad variety of things which you might find familiar as food items. Allow me to explain. Have you ever misplaced something? Or had something disappear that you were certain you knew where it was? Sometimes the item in question has just been misplaced. Sometimes a person is forgetful and does not remember where they last had such an item. But sometimes such misplaced items end up with one of my kind. Yes, human. There is an entire class of demons in the Chaos Realms which emanate a sort of field, vibration, energy, call it what you will. But it somehow attracts items that are associated by humans in the mortal realms with the concept of being misplaced or lost. In short, and speaking very broadly, if a human misplaces an item and then begins to think of it as lost, that item, energized by the power of that thought, can become lost in fact, and make its way to a collector demon. Case in point, here is a lost item, just now coming to my possession. It appears to be a small plastic container of the type used to contain medication. I have many such containers. I will file this one away for later placement in my collection of them. Allow me to conduct you through some of my collection. What was that? You can't see? How thoughtless of me. I had temporarily forgotten that you humans rely on certain wavelengths of radiation to perceive your surroundings. If it will make observation and navigation easier for you, I will create for you some light of my own. Bioluminescence, I believe, is the word you would use. I am not sure what a firefly is. Are they dangerous? Ah, now that I do understand. A glow stick is somewhat similar to what I can do, only much, much brighter and of broader frequencies of visible light. I shall cause my body to glow then, to ease and aid your passage through the tunnels and chambers of my domain. Though I will warn you, the sight of my physical form may be a bit disturbing when viewed by your own sight organs. I understand that humans do not react well to certain animate anatomical assemblages, such as masses of disorganized tentacles and random amalgamations of sense organs. Are you prepared then? Let there be light. Are you able to see better now, human? You seem a bit unnerved. I did warn you about the tentacles, and the randomly placed eyes and mouths and such. Are you sure this does not bother you? Good. Then I will show you some of the things which have come to me as lost items, and which I have found interesting enough to keep either as unique in their own right, or as a part of a collection of like items. Follow me. There are all sorts of items in my domain. Many of the singular ones I have placed in little niches along the walls of these tunnels. Here, for example, are some hundreds of assorted children's toys. I do not, of course, know the circumstances surrounding the events which caused them to become lost, but here they are. Oh, not all of the items are this small. I have many lost items which are much larger. I will show some of them to you as we pass them by. Here is a series of small chambers off the main tunnel where I keep my collection of jars of teeth. I have them sorted according to size and type of teeth. Do humans lose so many of their teeth as would account for this, do you think? I am aware that your kind loses its pre-adult teeth and grows replacements. But are you not aware when those teeth come out? How is it that so many are lost in such a way as to find their way to me? Such an interesting thought. Continuing onward then. This is a fascinating piece of my collection. It is a sword which, according to a friend of mine who maintains an interest in such things, dates from the Roman era of your kind's history. It bears an inscription which the friend had identified as Latin, though when it came into my possession it was rather grown over with moss, and some of the inscription was indecipherable. I have many other weapons of various types displayed around it, mostly swords, but this one is by far the most interesting to me. I feel that it might be some historical relic of great importance. Here is another collection. I have lined this section of the tunnel with small wooden pegs, thousands and thousands of them, and on each peg, a ring of some sort. So many of them. You humans need to keep better track of your jewelry. Ah, another wallet. You would not believe, human, how many of these things find their way to my domain. It is the same with many of my brethren. And in this chamber to your right, we have keys. Several hundred thousands of keys. I come by them several times a day. Keys to houses, and keys to vehicles, and keys to the divines only know what other locks and devices. When I started collecting keys, I found them fascinating. But after a time, I started receiving so many that they became more of a nuisance than anything else. And then, after a while, I became interested again in the sheer number of them I was finding. Now, I want to see just how many I can get. Onward, onward. There is a small niche on the wall here, which you will see is surrounded by glowing sigils and glyphs of warding. Contained herein is a jeweled gauntlet, the provenance of which I do know quite well. This is the clawed gauntlet of the Grand Jaya of the 7th Ward of the Fey Courts. And she is not going to get in here to get your gauntlet back anytime soon. Not without a very large army. The gauntlet is shaped to fit onto a hand with 6 digits, 2 of which appear to be opposable thumbs. It is studded with rubies and what are almost certainly blue sapphires, and has braided tips to the finger guards. The metal itself I am unsure about. It is certainly nothing I have ever seen before, and I have seen much. Something else that has just become lost. Well, this is unexpected. A human foot, taken off at the ankle. How odd. I shall have to see to its preservation and put it in the collection with the others. Oh, my apologies, human. Does such a sight disturb you? I shall put it out of view for the moment then. Let us continue. No, human, I do not have a large collection of body parts. Only one small chamber of preservation containers. I have no idea where the body parts come from. Only that they are considered lost, and that they make their way to me. Now, this item may interest you. I certainly find it fascinating. It is a large wooden packing crate. There is a low humming sound which emanates from it. I have not felt the need to open it. My grasp of written human languages is rather limited, unfortunately. Are you able to read what is written on the side of this crate? Some of the lettering is rather worn. Top secret. Army Intel. Numbers, part of the worn script. And then, do not open. How interesting. Do you have any idea what it might contain? Then I shall continue to find its mystery fascinating. I do not intend to open it anytime soon. But you must find all of this walking through tunnels to be tiring. A short distance ahead is the chamber in which my collection of foodstuffs is located. Do you have a preference for certain types of food? I may have something similar to those. Much of what I possess is inside sealed metal cans. You are familiar with such containers, yes? Then you may choose and consume what you wish. The chamber in question is just ahead, on your left. Go on in. Take your time. Meanwhile, I will go and archive these items which have lately come into my possession. I will not be long. I return, human. Have you eaten your fill? Splendid. Come with me then. I will show you a most fascinating artifact. What I might consider one of the crown jewels of my collection here. Here we come to one of the larger chambers of my domain. I keep many of the larger items that find their way to me in here. And it happens that there are some instances of light-producing growths on the ceiling of the chamber, so you should be quite able to perceive the items within. My friend who identified the sword I showed you, my friend was so good as to comment on this item as well. Human, behold a wonder. Here in this very chamber, buried under a mountain of rock and well into the forests of the inner realms of the chaos, what my erudite friend describes as a completely intact twin-engine Lockheed Model 10E Electra airplane. When it arrived here, it contained the skeletons of 2 humans, but the machine itself appeared to have been in reasonably good condition. Where it came from, neither myself nor my friend have been able to determine. My friend could not say with certainty. His knowledge and memory are vast, but oft-times weirdly specific. Regardless of the mystery of its origin, perhaps even because of the mystery, is it not a magnificent sight, human? Another set of keys. Tell me, human, what is the significance of this preserved animal foot? I find similar artifacts on many of the bunches of keys that make their way to me as lost. A lucky rabbit's foot? Is it the foot from a lucky rabbit? Or a foot that brings luck on its own somehow? What a bizarre practice. No matter. Let us leave this magnificent artifact in its chamber and return to the main passage. I have many more small collections along this passageway. Layers of shelves containing bits of pottery, piles of coins, several separate shelves of partial and complete dental prosthetics. Here is a large glass jar containing the preserved body of a large moray eel and bearing a label which reads, "Mittens, beloved pet, caring companion, taken from us too soon. We love you." And here is a set of bookshelves containing nothing but handwritten diaries. I have read through many of them, or at least I have attempted to read through them. Much intriguing and yet confusing information is contained within. There are so many other collections I would like to show you, human. So many things. But it is perhaps better that you take time now to rest. I do not have many places in my domain for a human to rest, but perhaps you might make yourself comfortable in this chamber. It contains my collection of missing socks. Yes, of course. What did you think happened to all the socks that went missing in the laundry? No, my collection is only socks that go missing in the laundry. But I do personally know the collector demon who receives socks lost under beds and couches. Her collection is even larger than mine. But for the present, you are welcome to make for yourself a resting place in this chamber of wayward socks. Yes, just inside here. Sleep now, human. Go to sleep. Good. You are awake again. You have slept for the better part of a day. I felt it best to ensure a long and uninterrupted period of sleep for you by drugging you. My body can produce a myriad of useful substances, effective on humans and many demons alike. You will find that your body will not respond to your attempts to move. That is the effect of another substance I administered not long ago. It will wear off in a day or so, but by that time you will no longer be my concern. Well before then, indeed, you should be back in the care of the hunter demons who did rather informally consign you into my keeping. And it should assist them in making good speed away from here without the worry of dealing with your struggles. This is nothing personal, you understand. I have enjoyed our interactions, and I have taken great pleasure in showing you the interesting items of my collections. But your story is fated to end somewhere else than here, I think. And so you shall travel on with the hunter demons when they arrive. I wish you well in your endeavors, human. For what it may be worth, I hope you survive to return to your own realm again. But for now, it is best that you go back to sleep. Sleep well.